and that's how moose took over the Canadian government.
Oh. That makes so much more sense now.
Yeah, that video of the moose that like swoofs by in the snow that everybody sees, you get to see how big they are. It's actually measuring what the new speed limit should be on the highway.
Huh.
Right.
Oh, okay.
What are they going to do for the loon population?
Oh, they're going to eat them.
Really?
That's unfortunate.
Opportunistic carnivores, everybody. I mean, it's a thing. Look it up.
That's true.
Cows and birds, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
It's horrifying. Oh, we're on. Hello, everybody. Hi. Welcome to Shenanigoons, the Book of Faebles. I am Angela, your DM for this evening. And we are soldiering on one down this week. But much love. Oliette obviously texted us to let us know that she would be absent today. So we're going to soldier on with her in T-pose. I hope everyone's having a good evening. This is our... yeah, I enjoy our openings too.
Glad we can entertain.
My brain just went into a different D&D character for a second. Anyway, so it was funny. They're pretty funny. So we are here with chapter 25. Holy moly, halfway to 50. My goodness. Tonight's episode is called Mythgar and Legend. I realized I used a centaur gif last week, and we didn't actually get to Mythgar, so that's fun. And we will be getting to Mythgar today. Come hell or high water. Or fey or high water, as it were. We are members of the Nerdsmith Network, so if you're watching the show for the very first time or you're catching up and you haven't yet, you should check us out at nerdsmith.org. Find out some of our other shows. I will be updating soon with our other campaigns for Shenanigoons as separate pages so that you can check them out. They're all very different and they're all worth checking out, so I think they should have their own little pages. But we have a couple of other shows on there, friends of the network, people who are either former members or just people that we think are really awesome that you should check out. And we also, if you like the show tonight and you want to help support us beyond just supporting us with your donations for your contributions to the chaos, that is, you can find us at patreon.com/nerdsmith. We're putting up all sorts of bonus content or picking up Steam a little bit more with that. And I am also working on the World Anvil, which will include some subscriber-only stuff. So if you subscribe to us on Patreon, you will get access to some things on the World Anvil that nobody else gets, including some fiction by our very own Kyle. Ooh. Yeah. Kyle's been occasionally writing a little short fic from Harlan's perspective as some of these episodes are going, and I've really been meaning to put them up, and so we will be putting those up onto our World Anvil.
They are very
You need to tell me what you want the manuscript on World Anvil to be titled, Kyle, because each of your stories will be a chapter in the manuscript. You just let me know what you want it called. You just let me know what you want it called, and we'll come up with a cover picture for it. Right. And with that glorious segue, we are also sponsored by the esteemed World Anvil, amazing online campaign management software that I am using, as well as we are all using to compile content for our world here. The World of Vale map is now live on our World Anvil, which I should really change that link to our link to Vale. But there'll be a bunch of really cool stuff in there. Seasonally? Oh no! Oh no, Mouse! Not even starting with the game yet. Anyway, thank you, Mouse, for doing that. We are.
Is it a wheel?
I don't know.
I don't know yet. I have no idea.
I think she's deciding. I think Mouse is deciding what to give us right now.
It's for a drawing.
But. Very good. Still, Tessa, would you mind please putting up our donation info?
I could do that.
Sorry, contributions. We should call them contributions because you are contributing to the chaos.
Yes.
So if you would like to help influence the game, you can use the link in chat or below to contribute to the chaos, a $5 contribution gets you a re-roll added to the party pool. They can re-roll any d20 that they would like, and we'll basically give them advantage. They can pick which one they want. Or no. It's re-roll, but you have to take the second roll. That's what we decided. A contribution of $15 lets you pick one of our players or an NPC, but just pick the players, to spin the wheel of causality, which is a bunch of meta and in-game random magic effects that are residual effects from their time spent in the Book of Faebles. And $25 will help me by making an NPC. Tell me some information about them, their name, what they look like, their pronouns, a fun detail about them, and I will try to incorporate them. I will try to make them pivotal in the session, but they might just be a run past the screen kind of goofiness for a scene, but I will incorporate them into the session. And finally, if you contribute $50 to the show, you will be giving our players, and I'm upgrading it, you'll be giving our players 1 minute of DM powers, same price, whole 30 seconds more. And with that being the case, I'm regretting this already, but I came to this decision after we had recently gotten a DM power, and I felt bad. So, Mouse, I'm giving you another 30 seconds. You may tell us when tonight Kyle gets another 30 seconds to DM, okay?
Ooh.
So now you have a chance to, like, prepare yourself, Kyle. But you just
spot.
Yeah, you just DM, you just go into the chat, Mouse, and tell me when they can do that. But now I just wanted you to get your money's worth when I decided to change the amount you were getting for $50. So that's my special contribution for tonight. Anyway, as I was saying, with our amazing sponsors, so we are sponsored by World ANVIL, we are sponsored by Eldritch Foundry as well, a really lovely fantasy miniature designer, and you can get them printed as actual figurines or get their digital copies for use in your live streams or in your digital maps. You can get top-down and little tokens of your characters. Highly recommend it, and their artwork is absolutely beautiful, so you should check them out. The link below lets them know we sent you and you're helping support the show. Hey, Anchoku. I gotta love our D&D Banana Brothers friends. We are finally sponsored, last but not least, by the exquisite Die Hard Dice.
Indeed.
Tessa, would you like to...
A Die Hard Dice.
Oh, I have mine somewhere too. But please tell us about Die Hard Dice and their wonderful products.
Die Hard Dice is the premium purveyor of all of perfect polyhedrals everywhere. This month, we currently are featuring the Spellbinder Gaia set in Mythica Platinum. They are gorgeous, and I'm very, very happy that this set is going to Angela in a couple of days because it was her birthday this month, and she is spellbinding DM. So therefore, these will all hers.
My Die Hard dice tray is so heavy right now. I have gotten I got another set of they're still welcome in the tray. They're not Die Hard dice, but they're still welcome in the tray. I will now own 3 sets of metal dice that none of which I've bought.
Well, there you go.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it, folks.
I love you guys. That's very, very kind of you.
If you would like to get your very own set of the Spellbinder Gaia, you can visit dieharddice.com and use the code Nerdsmith-APR for 10% off your entire order. We will have new stuff next week.
May I just point this out? I didn't notice this till just now. When did Twitch come out with chat replies? That's awesome. You can reply directly to messages.
But I did see that, and I have no idea.
Yeah, that's really great.
Nifty.
Hell yeah! So that's gonna make conversing a little easier in chat. So hooray! And I love our chat group. So I'm really, really happy that you'll will have an easier time to respond to people. So what a beautiful piece of music to start our story on. So let's get going. All right. So tonight, well, first we will recap what happened last week. Really quick. So last week, the party was preparing to leave for the island of Mythgar, which was across the water from where they had escaped from the Clockwork Authority, from the from Chronogram 2. But it required a little bit of talking. The group got together and had some frank discussions about what it was that Oliette was able to glean from Valain's mind while they were struggling with what appears to be some sort of curse-like effect. It prevents them from speaking on or really honestly thinking much about one of the queens of the Book of Faebles, Her Majesty of the Trade, and her apparent involvement with, well, involvement in more than one way, with the Lord of Tales, your adversary. You are currently having some discussions, and we'll probably have those discussions when Oliette is given a little more agency, so aka next week, about what to do and how to communicate with the queens and let them know that there is a traitor amongst them. But you know that much time passes in the book in a very, well, I guess that's something to consider. A lot of time potentially passes in the book when only a little time passes here. So it is up to you whether time is of the essence. But for the purposes of this game, I will say, like, don't worry about it. We'll wait till Chris gets back. In the meantime, well, you were discussing whether or not to write to Her Majesty of the Word, who can hear everything that is written in the book, or potentially illustrate something to communicate with Her Majesty of Beauty. And that is one direction you could go. So you have a couple of ways of potentially reaching out to them without entering the book and dealing with Her Majesty of the Trade directly. In the meantime, you said goodbye to your beach buddies, the married couple, the tiefling and half elf woman, tiefling man, half elf woman. They gave you a little bit of a tidbit of how to get around, that you could catch the ferry. Well, the ferryman comes back and forth from Mythgar and, well, Cronus, as you know it. And you made your way to the swamp. And you made your way to where this boat would be making shore. While you were there, though, you came across a intriguing little tidbit of loot. Thanks to that 30 seconds that Kyle was able to DM, you found a bunch of green crystalline objects in the water. They were called, well, you found out later upon ruminating on them, they are Tears of Gaia. They are small enchanted objects that when you break one on the ground, 10-foot radius around the object sprouts lush, fertile plant life. Anything that was plant-like within that 10 feet immediately grows to its full bloom. And within an hour, any edible food that could be grown from those things is completely ripe and ready to eat. Sounds like a pretty sweet thing for our druid in residence to have access to. And you now have 9 of them, I believe, because you used one of them to see what it did.
Mm-hmm.
And then you ate mangoes and chilled waiting for the boat. When the ferryman arrived, you found that the ferryman decided, well, the ferryman was in fact Fae, this sort of horned creature with this fox creature. Actually, it was a fox with little horns, and requested that you provide fare for each of you in the form of something intangible. Secrets, names, any number of things. You all offered something and in turn managed to get your fare paid to get on the boat. A few highlights: Oliette performed a song. Nobody has the context for what the song was or who it might have been about. The song was called Brussels Sprouts. No, it wasn't, but it is for me. FAE Anchoku, as in fairy as in fae. But I loves a pun when I plan it in advance. So that was that. Nickit told a secret, didn't let anyone hear it. And so the little tabaxi, they managed to get on board. Same goes for Verlaine, offered a secret and got them on board. Toshi, the other tabaxi, told a very delightful story about stalking a member of the Mechanist Authority and making him think he was being hunted by a goose or a duck or some sort of waterfowl, which apparently counted for a story, a secret, and a talent because he then performed his waterfowl impression. You're all welcome, and was able to get on board as well. Just out of curiosity, so I remember, what were the 3 things that you all gave for your fare? You gave something about your father, Beza.
My
was
my
mother.
mother.
Your
Beza
mother.
told the
A
story about
story about
meeting
your
her
sister.
adopted mother for the first time. And without
Yes.
thinking about it, name dropped the Queen of the Hunt.
Oh, yes,
That
yes.
could
That is
possibly
definitely.
come back to be a problem.
Oh, that is definitely what happened. Thank you for reminding me.
It's in my notes, so it's
Okay.
not like I could not remind
To
you.
which the ferryman was very interested.
So I didn't go into details because then we all had a mental conversation through the book, and Beza was like, "Oops,
that potentially not being a great idea."
Yep.
Then Harland, what did you give?
He confessed to a lie that he had been carrying for years and years and years. That
right.
he did not care for one of his mother's most proud dishes that she is most proud of. He doesn't care for it, but he's never told her.
Okay. Yep, I remember that. And then what did Paru give? What did Paru
Paru,
give away?
Thinking that she was being all smooth and stuff, offered a reading to the Fae, and
that's right.
is now at a disadvantage with insight checks for the next week.
Yeah, because she's a rube now. She pulled the innocent out of the deck of minor things.
Honestly, though, for Paru,
it's just better roleplay now. It's just more accurate roleplay.
Just more accurate roleplay.
So, you all get on the boat. And that is when my internet crapped out, so that is where we begin our story. You all get on board the ferryman's boat. The ferryman has their large oar that they push off from the marsh. And thank you, Angie. Oh, I'm stealing that for an episode title. That's such a good episode title. Not for tonight, but for another night. And there's plenty of fairies to be found in this game, so we'll be fine. So you make your way across. The water is very calm to start with, and it is relatively calm as you get further out into what essentially is a strait between the island and the shoreline of Thuria. Which do you have a preference? What I call it? If I talk about the main island, it's really only Cronus to the Clockwork Authority, but
I think it'd be fair to like Cronus for everything that's inside of that memory fog.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Then we'll do that for the purposes of clarity. So you make your way, and it's smooth sailing. You all watch the island get a little closer as the continent gets a little further. You see the mountains in the distance. Let's see. Oliet's not here, so what's your passive? Paru. I'm pretty sure you catch a glimpse of some antlers above some of the treetops. The big elk. Wandermoss.
Yep.
Wandermoss. The large ass elk. And you start heading. I did mention this before, that you see a bunch of mist at one of the mountains, and you also see a lot of water cascading down, and that must be Bray Falls, which is where your beach buddies were going. And they also invited you back to their home at Hagensport if you ever found your way over there. If you'll turn to your book at page whatever, you'll find the map. So if you head for Hagensport, if you look at the map, which Villain could pop it out and show you the map, Hagensport is all the way to the east if you follow the coastline, but you're going directly north to this island above the continent. We're gonna say it's maybe early afternoon. Sun's not quite high, and it is this beautiful, cool breeze on the water. And the ferryman doesn't really talk to you. They're very focused on their slow, methodic rowing on one side of the boat. Yet the boat is moving straight. You don't question it. You assume Shenanigans is afoot.
You mean Shenanigoons, surely.
No, you all the Shenanigoons. Shenanigans are afoot. It's very different.
Got it.
Very different. It's important to be precise.
Precision of language.
So, this is meant to be all. I think this is seafaring. Just got a intense opening.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just like
I had a moment of like, God, who's attacking us?
Oh man, you know what would be fun? I'm sorry, this is a tangent. I'm so sorry. It'd be really fun to have a playlist set up on a random with lots of different tones, and I had to have to DM to the music. That would be so funny to do that as a one shot or something, like something stupid, like a not canonical thing or just something silly.
I mean,
that I would have to do that. Because then, like, the Christmas music would come up, and the noir, and the like sexy biker bar music. Like, you'd only get 3 minutes to like do a scene.
Oh
Anyway.
Jesus! Okay, sorry.
Maybe we'll do that for bonus content at some point. We'll do like a speed round where it's like an hour of gameplay where we try to do that.
Sorry, my husband's aunt just texted me and said, I just had a dream that I was going to be a great aunt again. Do you have anything you want to tell me? And I'm like, not here, lady. Sorry.
Like, I've been growing mushrooms. That's in game, in character.
No, not here.
Maybe she means the cat.
That's there we go. Do the cats count?
She's a grand kitty.
Yes.
Kitty grand. I don't know. Anyway, is there anything that you would all like to do or talk about while you're on the boat, on your way to Mythgar? Any sort of game plans you want to make? You could always talk to Pimble. That's an option. I'll say that the kittens, because fuck, I'm not going to come up with a better name for them. The kitten twins, they are very intrigued by being this far off the island and getting this huge view of everything. Toshi is getting increasingly excited, keeps pulling out, oh my god, look. They're doing that kind of thing, like running around the deck. And the other thing that you note on the boat is full of junk. It is full of random knickknacks and seemingly nonsensical collections of things don't belong on a boat. There are miscellaneous dishes and silverware. There is scattered around little dolls and toys of like creatures. There's like a little tabaxi toy. There's a little elf who has like ninja action, like with a bow, and made of wood, has like a little hinge on it and can fire a bow. Fire an arrow, not the bow. It fires the bow though. It's a crappy toy. Just launches it. There's sun hats. There's potion bottles that are empty. There's all sorts of garbage and such on this boat. There's not really a lot of places to sit. You got to kind of make your own. There's a few buckets and things. And he says it'll be Well, it'll take as long as it takes. You assume possibly maybe 45 minutes.
Paru is going to bring Button out, since he actually originally came from the Little Big Boy's book of maritime sailing, maritime
Economics. Maritime
My brain
economics.
doesn't want to work today. Sorry. So she's gonna bring him out because I don't know when the last time he was on the water was, and see what he thinks about all
So
that.
where's Nickit? Or Nickit, fuck. Where is Button? That you're
Button-
bringing him out?
He usually hangs out like in my hair or underneath my vest.
Oh, so you're like, hey dude, look.
Yeah.
You're kind of like trying to like coax him out.
Yeah.
So as the boat starts moving and things get quiet on the water, you kind of like you feel him kind of like nestled there as like a little space heater behind you. And your little fire lizard is kind of like pangolin weasel thing. Sort of sticks his little snout out. Like looks out.
Water, look, on a boat.
He's still kind of curled up around your neck, but he is paying attention. He kind of hears the water. A lot of sniffing. Very loud near your ear.
You want to go fishing? Should we try and catch some fish? Do you want fish?
He
Are
gets
you
a little-
hungry?
You feel like a little tail wag
All
under
right.
your shirt, like you all see this under Paru's shirt.
I think he's hungry. Any objections if I try and catch a fish off the ferry, or I don't want to ruin any potential fishing for later?
You hear the ferryman. I am not responsible if anyone falls off. That was not part of your fare.
That does bring up an interesting question. How big are the fish out here?
Any number of sizes. If you feel yourself being pulled off the boat, it's best not to fight and just let it go.
Good to know.
And he kind of casts an eye to the garbage pile, and you see a big fucking fish bone carcass. Like not like meat, but just bones.
Nice.
Like a cartoon cat went and then puffed it out.
Is there enough detritus and things that I can fashion a fishing line?
Yeah,
Cool.
you definitely can. There's like
I'm fishing for Button right now.
you're fishing for Button. Button scurries down your leg and like hits the ground and starts sniffing around a lot, like searching through all the junk, and you hear like garbage noises as he kind of like sticks his nose all over the place, and
Yes, my garbage son.
I'm gonna assume Oliette is just playing something on the boat ride, just kind of in her own little head. And go ahead and give me a survival check, Paru.
Alrighty. Let's see here.
Kyle, you and I probably imagining the same music as Paru catches a fish.
Yes. Only if it's Tuta.
Andy hated that minigame. You all should play Spiritfarer, by the way. That is a completely unsolicited suggestion. It is beautiful and heartbreaking, and I wish I had made it because it's the best game I've ever played, and it breaks my heart every time I play it. Be fair warned, content warning, it does revolve around sending spirits to their final resting place via a boat with a very cute cat.
12.
12. You catch a boot. No. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Oh, Kyle, I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready.
I don't think anybody is.
No one's ready. So yeah, you fight a little with a with the pole, with the fishing pole, and eventually you grab a fish. Kind of looks like a catfish, but then you note it has antlers. Kind of weird.
It's a weird
That
fish.
that looks like a hairball.
It's
Do you want to pull a hairball out of the ocean?
realistic mouse. And
Oh,
when it's dropped on your face
and the
at 3
cat
a.m.
realistically
Yeah.
tore it apart.
When it's dropped on your face at 3 a.m., you can't tell the difference. Trust me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I caught this little fish, so she pulls it out and looks at it and like, why does that
Yeah,
fish
it's
have
a
antlers?
weird thing. Is there any reason for a fish to not have antlers?
I've just never seen a fish with antlers.
Well, then this is your first.
Button, do you want some fish? And she'll hold out the fish with antlers to Button to see what he thinks. Alright, well, good stuff. So she'll just kind of settle in.
And you give him the fish. He kind of starts gnawing on the antlers first. You know, let it sit. Let it.
Get that
Yeah.
sun-baked goodness.
And you can keep fishing if you want. You get a couple of things. You start seeing, as you get a little closer to the coast, you start seeing more wildlife. You see some, well, at first you think they're birds flying up above you. And after a minute, they come overhead. You see them and they're like big and like gliding, very wide wingspan. But as they fly over, you see the wings are more draconic. They're little, still little, I promise. And yeah, they kind of look like anhingas, but draconic, like long neck. The beak is very, very long and kind of curved, and they've got these really interesting sort of angled wings. They're just flying. There's like 3 of them flying together in a little V.
Harlan knows better than to look up.
Yeah, they're only over you for a moment, and then you watch. It's true, and then you watch, as in the distance, they make a nosedive into the ocean. And you see a little flicker of light, and they pop up with fish. But in their wake, you see a little, like a little lightning catch that sort of hits the water and touches them as they go up.
Neat.
Mm-hmm. And so that's probably the most exciting thing you see. You also catch a few cresting, like, creatures in the water. You don't see fins or anything, but you kind of see like a bit of movement. It's maybe seal sized. And there's a few of them, so you kind of see them moving around a little bit. The ferryman is making a straight motion towards the island. And as the ferryman gets a little closer, you catch a better view around what look like huge canopies from trees. And very similar to the marsh you left to get onto the boat, except absolutely enormous trees. These banyans are huge root systems that sort of line the island edge. There's no beach on this side. It's just almost like, not to get macabre, but almost like prison bars sort of pressed into the water. They're huge like fingers from these trees ducking into the water, and you see occasionally you'll see something kind of like fluttering through, and you do note more of those lightning drakes, those little call them we'll call them marsh drakes. These little tiny draconic creatures. And the boat gets closer, the raft, I guess, barge, that was the word. Barge gets closer to the shore. And there is, in fact, a dock, like an actual dock. Seems old, though, made of cobblestone and big stone brick. Older, has cracks in it. It's not perfectly preserved. But there is a wide pathway off the side where the barge can park. It's like 4 or 5 people wide. It's a big sort of dock structure. And there is a little, well, not really little, but there's a boathouse. In the sense of like someone watching the dock probably would work there. You could probably store things in it, and it would function as a bit of a docking post. And the barge slowly eases in. There's the creaking as the wood of the boat just sort of like sags to the right to kind of bump against what look like some sort of natural rubber buffers that have been put there to keep the boat from hitting too hard against the rock. And the ferryman moves very swiftly to quickly move on to the next one, and only does it twice. So it's still kind of rocking up against everything. Toshi is so flippin' excited, is just like, oh my gosh, come on. And Nicket's like, oh my God, stop running. And they run after their brother, and Toshi kind of makes a like basically trying to race Nicket off the boat, and does this like little like jump over some stuff, and Nicket actually gets a little peeved and starts running after him. And as that happens, Toshi, jumping over this barrel, kicks something onto the ground, maybe like a lantern, like an old lantern. It hits the ground, and Nicket just and whiffs it and hits the ground. And everyone's just like, oof. And Villain is like right where it happens.
Oh.
And it's just like, oh, that looked like it's smart. And Nicket's just like in the garbage. And it's just like,
Ow.
yeah, just a little.
You want a healing? You want me to heal you? Just give
I'm
you
fine. I'm fine.
Okay.
And they kind of Villain sort of steps up a little bit, and Nicket's like, I'm good. And they kind of like make their way up, and as they get up on their feet, they look around and they start walking. They're like, ow. And Villain's like, come on. And Villain basically like grabs Nicket's hand and like hauls Nicket onto his back. And Nicket's looking very disgruntled. Let's not take up the ferryman's precious time. You all hear in your heads, creepy motherfucker. And Villain starts heading off the boat with Nicket in tow in a piggyback.
Toshi, I know you're excited, but you need to wait for us just in case anything happens. We don't know what's on this island.
Look, I'm already on the dock. It's fine. Look, watch. And just jump. Okay, see? I'm on the boat, and I'm on the dock. It's fine. I'm on the east side. Yep. I'm on the west.
You might get et if you run off too far.
Just like... Et by what?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We don't know. We don't know what's here. That's why I'm saying you gotta be careful. You don't
Hopefully
have to
something fast. You don't mean that.
I don't know. Big things tend to digest pretty slow. So I mean,
You're
if you
not
got
helping.
swallowed,
You're not helping.
Yeah, we could crawl in and get you, but you'll be sitting in there for at least a few minutes. And Toshi's like, I don't want to sit. I don't want to sit in anything.
that's
It
obvious.
could be worse, honestly, especially if you can cut your way out.
Hmm.
Okay.
I've done it before. It's not fun though.
So Toshi sort of stops moving. Okay.
What happened?
His feet are still kind of like back and forth, back and forth. He just really wants to go. He's doing basically doing a little pee dance. Like he really wants to go somewhere. But so what are we gonna do? Where are we going? Where are we going?
Uh, Mr. Ferryman, I was wondering if you might be able to point us in the direction of the nearest settlement.
Hmm. And he kind of like just looks at the dock and slowly follows the path of the dock, and you see there's a road. I suppose that would be as good a place to start.
Oh,
Right.
right. Yeah.
One must make their own way in the world.
But, I mean, somebody's already made it if there's a road, right?
I think they're just saying. I think he's just saying he doesn't want to tell us anything.
Oh, that's fair.
You know, being vague and obtuse doesn't make it as mysterious as you think it does. It just makes you irritating. Pleasant journey.
And to you as well.
Thanks for the ride.
He's already untying things. Elliot. The lane just kind of snorts. Yeah, good move, short sack.
You know, it occurs to me that we told them a bunch of secrets, but they never told us anything about themselves.
It took you across the water.
Well, yeah, but
That
they
was,
weren't much
I
of a
mean,
conversationalist, is my point.
like I said, vague and creepifying doesn't make you interesting. I should know.
I am so upset that I was muted for that. I didn't realize
What?
that I said if you see the Baba Yaga, tell her part says
Oh.
hello. I didn't realize I had muted my mic. No, I'm
Oh,
sad.
no. We
I'm
could hear
sorry,
you fine.
Mouse.
So yeah, if you see the Baba Yaga, tell him I said hi. That's what.
Yeah.
You know, the best part about that is it's like you silently told him.
Mm.
Even creepier.
Sorry about that, Mouse. My son was talking at me, so I muted myself so no one could hear. Stu couldn't hear and forgot to unmute.
It's okay. We forgive you. So, you start. Where do you start going? You head down the road, I assume. Don't want to assume though.
I mean, road sounds pretty good to me. If we don't follow the road, how will we know where we're gonna end up? Most likely way to find people to ask about what the hell happened is to follow the road.
That's true. To be fair, we don't know where we're gonna end up if we follow the road or if we don't follow the road. But you're right about seeing people more likely if we follow the road.
And most of the time, people don't pave a road towards danger, so I think we'll be all right.
I mean, it depends on if you want to make it easy to get to your hunting grounds.
I mean, that's fair. Ooh, do you suppose that the people on this island are like completely different than the people on our island? Like, we grew up in two separate worlds, and so when we arrive, it's gonna be like there could be people like Harlan who are Harvard, but like they're I don't know, orange with purple polka dots or something. That could be cool.
I mean, considering you fished out a fish that had antlers, I think it's probably
Exactly.
possible.
I mean,
Easy there. You're gonna use up all your enthusiasm in one go.
I don't think that's physically possible for me.
I don't think so either.
I mean, if you wanted to see me orange with polka dots, I could arrange for that to happen.
I'm aware. I was just thinking of more of the difference in potential local flora and fauna given differentiation of origins.
Yeah, all different like plants and animals.
Yes, exactly. You picked up exactly what I was putting
Alright.
down, Harlan.
All right. Well, let's start walking.
And you do.
As
Yeah,
as they're going,
Mhm.
Harlan's gonna ask Oliette for the book,
sure.
and he's gonna start thumbing through it because the conversation that we had the other day, yesterday, this morning,
Mhm.
um, about the Queen of Beauty putting a picture of Beza and Harland.
She did put a picture of you both, but she also said she left a page for each of you.
Right. So I think
So what are you looking for?
Harlan's gonna try to find his page,
Okay.
thumbing through for like images more than anything because like
Sure.
I think this time he would know his alphabet,
Oh,
given
yeah.
like spending time with Oliette. That I think he'd like know the letter H, the capital letter H, because learning how to spell your own name is kind of super important. So yeah, he'd be looking for the something that looked like what he perceives Harlan to look like.
Okay. So you start looking through the book. Start flipping through the illustrations, which you'd seen a little bit of every so often. You'd catch the pages, especially at the beginning when Oliette was reading the book to you so many years ago. But it's been a while, and there are absolutely gorgeous illustrations of things you've seen in the Book of Fables, like in the world. There are massive creatures. There are some of the towns and villages you recognize. It is a mix between like a fairy tale telling of maybe some of the adventures of the denizens of the book. It's very Wind in the Willows, where you'll catch a little story here and there. You certainly get the sense that Her Majesty of the Word is not one to uh, she's not one to prefer one story over the other. She seems to enjoy small, personal, little tales just as much as the epic history of the book itself. You have a suspicion that maybe Her Majesty of the Folk might have something to do with that. Maybe have a bit of an influence on her in that way. But yes, you flip through and you see beautiful vistas, and occasionally you'll see these things that just look mystical. There's like a swirl of color and shape, and it's kind of almost a little magic eye, where there's clearly something kind of hidden in the cloud of magic, um, and there's a bunch of things like that. Give me a Go ahead and give me a perception check as you're searching through the book for something that pings as, ooh, this is for me.
I got a 13.
13. You do note that there is a weird amount of pages. That's the first thing that you note. How many pages there actually are in this thing. It seems like it's bigger on the inside, if that makes sense. You eventually, as you're kind of going through, and you didn't see anything on your first go through, and you start flipping back again. Maybe if you read it out of order, you'll note something. You won't get so hung up in the story. So you start turning it backwards to kind
Like
of
a
look
choose
through.
your own adventure.
Yeah, kind of like looking for what you were looking for might actually be easier to locate. And where did I put it?
Mouse, oh my gosh. It's so good.
Thank you. Where are we? We're looking for the. I'm looking for a list of things that I had in the heist. Where was that? Do, 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 do. So sorry. There we go. That's what I needed. There's a thing. Okay, Kyle, give me a D 100.
Okie doke. I wasn't playing a World of Darkness game, and all my D10s are everywhere. The dice owe me one. I got 68.
Oh, damn.
I'm a freaking child because I enjoy that joke so much. Oh well.
Okay. Okay. So, as you're looking through, you see a section of the book that does kind of, like I said, looking backwards, sort of like you catch it. It's painted in a slightly different ink. It's almost shimmery, like metallic, on what is normally a very clean, very elegant. It kind of almost looks watercolor. It looks like an illuminated manuscript, but this ink is different. This ink is like I said, it's like color shiny, kind of changes a little bit, and that's what caught your eye, was that it color shifted when you turned the page a little bit. So suddenly it blended in with what looked like a tree, like inside the most of the tree, and it went from like green to slightly purple, and it popped for you in your vision when you looked at it. And you see a hold on. Okay. You see it's like a hole. It's like a little burrow in the tree in this sort of ink. And you catch it and you kind of like trace your thumb around it a little bit, and you're like looking at it, trying to feel if it like pops out or anything. And you feel there's an edge on that ink.
Like
Like a
almost like
sticker.
it's like it's what's it called? Like a raised relief type.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's a sticker.
Okay. Um. I guess he'll try to like see if he can fiddle with it. Like, what's
Mhm.
if he can like I don't know. He kind of futz with the edge of a sticker to kind of like see about it, like
Okay.
see what he can do to like if it.
So give me sleight of hand as you try to gingerly get this sticker off, or what seems like a
Sleight
sticker.
of hand. Okay, where is that? Okay, not great. I got a 9.
You got a 9. You have stubby ass fingers for this work. You're like, damn it.
Got these farmers' hands.
Toshi kind of sees you fiddling with the book. You need some help?
Yeah, there seems to be something stuck to this page here, and I was just trying to extricate it if possible. Just
Okay.
trying to be careful though. Oh, you're like Beza.
Kinda.
I don't think they've seen Beza pull out her swords yet.
Oh, I don't know what that means. And he stops you and he like kind of pulls the book down and he kind of looks at it. You watch him very gingerly move his thumb claw kind of just to get underneath. Okay, I think I started it for you.
Well, mighty obliged. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, he's gonna continue trying to. Well, let's see what I have in my inventory that might be able to help.
And it's the
Oh.
burrow that's a sticker.
So, I think he's gonna pull out the quill, the orator's quill,
Okay.
and basically like just try to use the edge of that to keep like leveraging the sticker off of the page.
Sure. Okay.
Very
yeah.
specifically, not telling it to write anything, like telling it not to write anything.
It takes you a moment to kind of fiddle with it. You've stopped. Everyone has kind of wandered ahead a little bit, and
I'll
you're
catch
just like,
up. Don't worry about me.
like Oliette's just like, okay. She waits probably a little bit because you're holding her book,
Fair.
and eventually you get the sticker off. When you peel off the sticker, it you watch it melt into your thumb. And there's the purple iridescent ink is like on your thumb, and then it just like gently fades away. And you feel a little like a pleasant little shiver.
Oh, I wonder what that was all about.
Harland, you have just learned a special ability. It's called Take the Hole. You can remove a hole from an object that can fit into a 5-foot cube. You store that hole in your mind by taking up one spell slot. You can restore the hole somewhere else, or you can restore the hole to the object at will, and you get your spell slot back.
Does it have to be the same object?
We can talk about it.
Okay.
If you can come up with a funny thing, sure. I'm sure you can.
Oh, yeah.
So we will talk about the details of that. It is I haven't come up with the full details yet. I just had the premise. So
I think that's amazing. You could move an open window into a floor and make the modrons fall through it.
The house is bigger than a 5-foot cube. It's a hole in an object.
Oh, the object has to be a 5-foot cube.
Yes, the object can't be bigger than a 5-foot cube.
So
a jar. You could take the hole off a jar, and it would be
make
sealed.
It a glass cylinder.
Yeah, it would be sealed. Who needs
Brilliant.
lids? Who needs lids anymore? Harland, you're the most efficient canner who has ever lived. The most effective canner who has ever lived.
But only to one can at a time.
Only to one can at a time. So yeah.
I never have to worry about the sauerkraut smelling again.
Oh my god. You do have to have it occupy a spell slot of your choice, though. So.
Okay, fair enough. Any size spell slot?
Yep. Any spell slot.
Okay.
We might later be able to argue size equals spell slot level.
Okay.
Maybe after you get a certain number of spell slots or a certain level of spell slots. Yeah, right. Just remove the holes from everything. You see trying to think of a good
Now you're playing with Portal.
I mean, not that you would do this, but Oliette's sword does have some very important holes in it.
I wish this was a different key.
Just remove. Where'd the F key? Where'd the F hole go? God damn it, Harlan. Anyway.
Oh man, you could permanently seal someone's bag of holding.
It does not say it has to be a non-magical object.
Wait,
Just
okay.
putting it up there.
No, I'm gonna stow that away for later.
Yeah, stow it away. We will discuss. Because I would say that a magic object would probably have to use a bigger spell slot.
This is why Heather is an evil genius.
Yeah.
And we do
Because
not...
now the gears are turning, and she knows exactly what she's doing.
So-
Mhm.
Is it strictly objects?
Object.
Okay,
You cannot take someone's mouth away.
that's exactly what had popped into my head. Okay.
Nope. It is you remove the hole from an object.
Dead bodies are objects.
So we'll discuss the basics of this, but the page, when you start looking at the actual page where this came from, it talks about a little gnome that was especially well known for creative uses for voids, holes, and the absence of things. Especially taking the keyhole from your house when you go out, which you could leave the key behind to confuse burglars. They can't get inside. Yeah. So it was a cute little story about a gnome named Sereth. And yeah, I just thought that was super cute.
All right.
So
That's great. Thank you.
you suspect that is what you got in the page. From your page, that is. So, you continue your walk through the forest. At some point, somebody, maybe Oliette, notices, but Villain is sort of trudging along with Nickit on their back. And you notice that Nickit has fallen asleep. And is just like...
So now he's carrying dead weight. Just
Yep.
like, oh no.
He's not complaining. But he's just hauling them. And you eventually get to a point in this large forest as you're following this road. You get to a point of a signpost. Like an actual genuine signpost. It has a bunch of names listed on it. And you can sort of decide where you would like to travel. I'm sure you'll probably wait for Tessa, but Harlan, the perfect person to read this street. Here, Harlan will read it, which will take us about 10 minutes, which will allow for Tessa to be back and ready. That's a B, big guy. And this goes on for some time. You find that the places are as follows. The names say Knight's Roost.
Night like nighttime or night like a night?
Knight. Heathen's Church. Fife. Meadhaven. And Ballycrisane. I will put the names in chat.
Why did I somehow, Kyle, not knowing the words that you were just going to say, as Harland, pick the one that's the longest and most complicated that starts with the letter B?
Well, I corrected you that it was a B.
Oh,
so.
okay, yeah. But still, like, hey.
I was leading you on. It's the magic
Okay.
of storytelling. But no, it was very good. So yeah. Toshi's standing next to you, Harland, and kind of like feeding you the words if you get stuck. I mean, I don't know how that last one's pronounced. That's weird.
Well, I recognize mead. I know that one.
I think the last one is something like Ballycrisane.
like what you do on like something's name day when you
No,
when
that's
you
a
christen.
christening.
Right.
Are we
So
gonna
it's
play that
not
game
that.
right now?
I don't think so. I don't know.
No. Christening. That's one of those big flowers, right? With all the petals. No, that's
No, I
chrysanthemum.
think it's
Christening is a. We're not gonna
I
play
think
that game.
it's the that holiday where everybody exchanges presents.
Anyway, I personally
It's
love that
one of
game.
my
That's
favorite
like
games. Yes. Ange and I have gone back and forth for at least 10 minutes before.
That is not
at
an
least in
exaggeration.
at least in chat, I'm not nearly as clever in voice with that sort of stuff.
I feel like Oliette would want to go to Meadhaven.
Probably. I'm gonna say that's probably her vote. Sorry, Lane.
So sorry. Where are we?
No,
going?
you're fine.
I had
You
to...
have a signpost with a bunch of names on it,
Ooh.
and you have to decide which one you're gonna go to. Knight's Roost, Heathen's Church, Fife, Meadhaven, or Ballycrisane. There's no other information. Rather, there is distances. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So the closest one is Heathen's Church. Then Ballycrisane. I'll put them in order. Heathen's Church, Ballycrisane, then... Come on, different number. Different number. Goddamn. Fife is next. Then Meadhaven, then Knight's Roost. Why did I not just do it in the order I gave them to you? Let's not worry about it. Let's not think about it. So yeah, closest one is Heathen's Church. It's probably 2 miles.
Well, I mean, a church is always a place of respite for people, in my experience. So that sounds like a fine place. But I know personally, I'd enjoy Meadhaven. I enjoy a good honey wine.
They're all within a few hours. They're all within a couple hours, though. They're not super far.
I mean, I feel like it makes the most sense to start with the closest one since we don't know anything about where we are exactly. Maybe see if they have a map or something.
Yeah, that's only about an hour's walk from here. So I mean, we could do that one, and then we could do something else too.
Sure. I'm easy.
All right. So you're heading to the closest one just to kind of see what's what?
Yeah.
All right. So you head to towards Heathen's Church. It takes you it's like it's like maybe a 4-way cross. And you make a left.
We have Mouse has put in Kyle Dia
All right.
Machina.
Let me get my timer. And let me put it in. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. So, Kyle, the last thing I said was you make a left. Let me know when you're ready, and I will start the timer.
I only have one thing that popped into my head.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Minute starts.
So as the party proceeds down the left-hand pathway, there's an odd creaking sound that can be heard echoing along the path, and coming up around the corner is what looks like a cart of some sort. No, it's a wagon with looks like a cabinet of some sort on the back with it's like one of those like a rickshaw type thing where the with the handles out front and something carrying on the back. It's a sign that says wares for sale.
Mm. Interesting.
What do you guys do?
Is that was that it?
You got 15 seconds. I mean, you don't have to
okay.
narrate. You guys can like roll with it.
Paru's gonna go see what they have for sale. Because people to talk to.
So there's all sorts of odd knickknacks that they have for sale. Um, all of them kind of like they all kind of itch in the back of your brain.
What?
Okay.
What?
That's it. I swear to God, if you're throwing something at me and it just went whoosh, we'll find out.
No, honestly, like the image that popped into my head was like I'm not ruining anything with WandaVision, but it's like where like there's constantly an obstruction in the pathway,
Oh,
like, no matter which way they turn.
Damn, more kids? Sure. Okay, so here's the thing. The wagon is yes, it is sort of like hitched. It is hitched to what appears to be a giant beetle. And the beetle is made out of a barrel. It's moving around, it's made of metal, it's like as it moves across, but the shell looks like a barrel. And there is a little oh Kyle, you were so good for this. There's a little what looks like a goblin riding the beetle, but this goblin is very pale skin with like white fur, and has like little mutton chops and like has a little bit of fur on the backs of its arms, and is wearing a hat that kind of looks like Aang trying to be an old man in Last Airbender. It's just like a bunch of little stalks of dry grass, and there's a few mushrooms growing out of him, like on his shoulders, and he's got two little moth-like dealy bobbers on his head, and he's just riding the beetle.
Mushroom goblins? I was born on the wrong damn island. There's mushroom goblins.
That was the best reaction I could have hoped for. Here is, and there you can use that as your little reference point. This is what the little dude looks like. He's chewing on a piece of hay. Seems like it's made of the same stuff that his hat's made out of. And you go up, Haru. I mean, the enthusiasm by which you come forward is way more.
That is
once I've described the guy.
way more energy.
So yeah, he's sitting there chewing on a hay stick.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm very excited about what you have for sale.
For sale.
This is where.
Oh yeah. I know. He like slides off the beetle, and the beetle kind of shifts to a halt.
I like your mushrooms. They're really cool.
I like your green.
Thanks. I'm Paru. And she puts a hand out.
Hello. And he like he's got a weird energy to him. I'm oh, hold on, sorry. Pulls the hay out of his mouth. I am Compendio.
Compendio.
Puts the hay back in his mouth and gets.
What is it you do, Compendio? It's such an interesting
Looks back
name.
at the sign that says "Wares for sale."
Sorry.
This apparently.
Sorry, I haven't ever met another person that looks kind of like me that also likes mushrooms, and so I'm really kind of excited. And I apologize if I come on a little strong.
You could say I'm rather attached to them.
Like, yeah, I'm attached to mine too. And she lets her kind of spores kind of.
Mm. There's the first look like, huh, that's nifty. He eats the hay. So, you all, well, based on your general demeanor, I assume y'all aren't from around here.
Nope, never been.
Well,
These are my friends. Guys, come introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Beza.
hello.
Harlem Firebranch at your service.
That's a lot.
I already love him.
Says Compendio.
I already love him. And this is Villain, and this is Toshi, and this is Nickit, and this is Eliette.
Hello.
So,
That's pretty much the only word to get at him for a bit. He does go. So y'all are looking for you looking for something to buy, something to sell. What's your thing?
Honestly, we're just looking for people who aren't from Crone. No, what's the name of the island we're from? I don't remember.
Y'all are from Thuria?
Yeah.
Huh. Don't get a lot of folks from over there.
Yeah, because they keep us all stuck inside of it. Sorry, I haven't been outside of a wall in a while. I'm gonna stop talking now. And she like takes 2 steps back and's like, I'm be good, and shut my mouth.
He kind of looks at you in sort of a sort of way when you say that. He doesn't say anything though. None of my business.
So, what kind of things do you have for sale?
All sorts of junk. Things I find around. Things
And
people
what do you
leave
take for
around.
payment?
Oh, all kinds of things. Things people leave around.
So, it doesn't have to be intangibles.
I don't do that kind of fake crap.
well,
I like
that is
him.
a relief.
What you in need for?
Oh.
You think?
How about we most recently have a map of Thuria. How about a map of Mythgar?
Map of Mythgar. Map. All right. Map. Did you get a map? All right. What you doing? You're sitting there like a layabout, and he kicks the beetle, and the beetle's back just cracks open, and like wings, except they lift up, and there is a bed of hay and a bunch of stuff stored inside the beetle's back. And he starts rooting around in it. He throws the cabinet doors open, and you see a bunch of shelves of stuff. And it's very eclectic, very disorderly, very hard to see anything of any organization. And I also shared the picture of the beetle. So yeah. And he starts looking around. He's like, all right, I see maps. Where's the map? Where's the map?
I just got the vision of
You're
like
welcome, Heather.
the Luke Goliath from Borderlands 2. Just like
Definitely.
Yep.
Son of a bitch. Every time he died in a corner.
No.
Or upside down. Fuck.
Yes.
Anyway. So, we have. Let's go. Right here. Okay. And he pulls out a map case. And kind of. Before or after the Centaur uprising.
The who and the what now?
What's the most accurate to the current
You know-
layout of the land?
Will that be after?
Then after.
Okay. And he's looking through it.
Paru pulls out a
Yes,
scrap
yes,
of paper and starts writing down. Centaur uprising. When did that happen?
Ah, it happened a couple years ago. You know, they built a barn and they rose it up.
Oh. 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 Oh, I like you. Oh.
Like, I mean, that's what we call it. It's like a barn uprising, right? That's what it's called.
Oh,
They just called it a
oh,
barn raising where I'm from.
oh, okay.
Raising. What are you gonna raise a barn? What you gonna teach it? You gonna
I
Or you-
guess.
you both have this like ooh, sort of stare between you. Or, yeah,
Paru then looks through her notes and goes,
slowly
"Grr."
scratch. Yeah, you just here you go. And he unfurls a map, and you see a relatively rudimentary, but it's got a bunch of stuff on it. You see all those towns that you saw on the signs. The dock. There are some notes written into it on the margins or on things. It's very to be honest, just to continue the Borderlands reference, it's very Tiny Tina. There's lots of sort of smudgy notes and things. You see that there is um, the um, you see that there is in fact a big banyan marsh um, that is on the south side of the island. There is a series of lakes on the north side of the island, of which there are a bunch of little villages peppered around it. Um, you also see that there is something called the Thuria Refuge, just north of where you're headed.
There was a refuge?
Yeah, and a number of folks, not as many as used to be, but people fleeing the island. I mean, there are a bunch of boats come over, and
do they still show up? Are they?
Oh no, been decades for that.
Oh, so okay, so people who fled originally.
Yeah, they got their own little subset community, all sort of, you know. Well, I mean, I don't want to be dismissive by calling it, you know, trauma bonding, but they all sort of clung together, you know, vestiges of home and all that.
Now,
right.
excuse me, Mister Dio. Um,
He pulls another piece of hay from his hat. Yep.
now, y'all, I think that's where we need to head, because, you know, if we want information about Thuria, we get it straight from the horse's mouth, from people that were there originally.
Better not use phrases like that when you're walking around here. You're gonna liable to insult somebody.
Centaurs.
Don't call nobody a gift horse. Also, they'll think you're implying their morals are loose.
Oh. Good to know.
That's good to know.
So, okay, now on that note, what are some other terms that we need to be aware of? Am I going to get in trouble for saying the word rutabaga?
Unless you meet someone who doesn't like rutabagas.
All right, phew. All right, that's fine. You just met one.
Toshi went, they're rut beggars.
No,
Yeah,
they're rot bagels.
That don't sound right. Well, but other such things you might want to stray away from is horse of another color. That's not. That's you know.
No horse euphemisms, puns, and or epithets.
Right.
Now, what about if we meet like the leader of a community? Do we not refer to them as the mayor?
Mm. Mm. I do not have as much knowledge of local politicking as you might think, given my well, and he points at his hat. But just rest assured that you just treat people with kindness and maybe avoid idioms in general, and you might do all right.
Idiom, that was the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, that's good to know. How much is it for the map?
What you got? Happy to trade?
See.
Also, she looks over at Nickit and Toshi. Do you have any weapons?
I take a look.
Thank you.
Yep. And he takes a look. He's like, all right, and he eats the hay again.
I mean, everything's a weapon if you know how to use it.
This guy knows how it works.
That's true, but certain things are more effective, especially if you're not fully trained.
I don't know. My mama swung that flip flop around like it was a weapon, and I caught that quite often.
Flip
Yeah,
floppers, yeah, those are rough.
because she killed you with it.
You ain't seen her.
You ain't seen my mama.
I have seen his mama. She's very nice.
You ain't never broke her fine china.
Well, no, I didn't have to eat, so I didn't have to touch the plates.
I've got this, and Paru pulls out her drum. I don't really use it, so but it's well made.
What is it?
Her drum that her musical instrument that she's proficient in that she never freaking plays ever.
Let me take a look. And he looks at the drum. Yeah, all right. That's half. What else you got?
I got a very fine apple that was just grown from a very fine tree, and he pulls the apple from the Gaia garden that he took. He pulls the apple out and he hands it over. I don't know what kind of varietal it is, but it does certainly look like the.
Kind of moves it around his mouth a little bit.
How is it?
Yeah, okay. He puts it in his pocket, as if he was thinking he might return it. That's not good. What'd you say it was called?
It's well, let's call it
Gaienstein apple.
Apple.
or Guy Smith.
I like Guy Smith better.
Fuck yes. It's a green or a red apple.
I pictured it in my head as a red apple.
Okay. But tart on the inside. That's not the thing you don't just randomly call a centaur. They'll think you think their morals are loose.
What, tart on the inside? Got it.
So, he takes those and then starts looking around. Y'all can think about what you want to trade. I'll keep looking for see if you've got any weapons here.
All right, she goes over to Nickit and Tochi. So, what weapons can you two use?
What are we doing? Nickit woke up.
We met a traveling salesperson. So we're getting some things that we might need. I'm wondering what kind of weapons you and your brother can use. Because at the moment you're just using a wrench that's from the metronome. and that might be effective, but something that actually does more
It is
damage might be good.
pretty effective. I mean, I
You
just
also have claws.
That's
yeah.
true. But do you want something with range? I only have the one bow, so I can't give it to anybody else. But
Oh yeah. I can throw rocks.
so like a sling. Throwing
Sure.
darts.
Just rocks. I guess I could learn how to sling.
How about a slingshot?
I've always wanted one of those.
Oh lordy, it's gonna be my brother all over again.
Let's see
Nick,
what he's.
Paru and Nick both go, "Oh Lord," at the same time.
Well, let's see what he's got available. He's looking through his stuff right now.
You look around, you see him with his feet hanging in the air as he's like waist deep in the beetle. Like,
Alright.
I don't know.
Slingshot on one condition. If I ever catch you flinging slugs with it, I will turn
Ew.
into a dinosaur and I will eat you. Deal?
That entire thing escalated very quickly.
Okay, I won't eat
There's-
you, but I will sit on you.
There's a whole.
That might be just as bad.
You had me at no slugs.
That's even better. Sorry, my brother likes to throw slugs with his slingshot, and it's very gross.
Oh,
The boy is accurate as all get out.
okay. Toshi looks very confused. He's willing to accept it though. And so yeah, so you he finds a scythe and he finds a slingshot. There you go. They're kind of rickety, but they are what they are. They're functional. The scythe definitely looks like a farming implement,
Okay,
but it's a weapon.
That can easily be made a weapon. Are they in good enough condition that if we used some mending on them, they'd probably be more functional?
Yeah, probably.
Perfect. All right. Let's see. How much do you? What do I have? She starts
Yeah, what do you
pulling out some of her furs and some of her like claws or fangs, whatever she has on her. She has a bunch of equestrodon skin and a couple of rabbit furs.
Oh wow. Oh okay. Yeah, that's
She
a lot.
probably has to ask Verlaine to give it to her, but
Yeah. Here you go. He just puts it on the ground, actually. he doesn't hold that.
so I've got an equestrodon skin here, and then there's a couple of rabbit skins. Oh, and a bunch of goose feathers,
Goose, you say?
or whatever the hell it was she killed.
Horrific creatures.
Yeah, they're my favorite.
I can make a goose noise. Verlaine puts his hand over Toshi's mouth. Oh God, I love this little motherfucker so much.
Me too. Me too.
So, you trade and you get all this stuff from Mr. Compendio. He does clarify it's Mr. Compendio.
Well, it's very nice to make your acquaintance.
You're welcome.
And thank you for the good advice.
You're also welcome. Grabs another piece of hay.
Compendio. Is that a family name? Is that a? I just never heard that as a name before.
Bit more of a, let's call it a performance nomenclature.
So you're on the stage? You're a thespian?
All what you call it? All salesmanship is a kind of performance, I suppose.
Oh yeah, that is very true. Some of the salespeople that I've known.
Well, you're not gonna get me winning any awards anytime soon, but yeah, I make do.
I don't know, awards for salespeople is usually just more money.
Well, my name tends to precede me, and it serves me well. As you can tell, I am of a more subdued personage. Doesn't always elicit the most enthusiastic of sales opportunities.
That's okay. I've got enough enthusiasm for like 8 people.
I can see that.
But you do have the illustrious honor of being the first person that we have encountered on this island. So, uh, it
He's
has
just
been a very
slowly eating the hay in front of me.
if you're uh, if you are any indicator, then you are in fine company on this island. So I'm personally looking forward to getting to know more of you.
Well, more of me or more of... And he kind of looks around.
The locals.
You see his little tail kind of wish like,
The locals, that
sure,
yeah,
sure, I got you.
all y'all.
Yeah. I got you. Now, if our transaction is complete, I will be on my way.
I think we're good. We good? You good?
I think so, yeah.
I think so. Unless anyone else needs anything.
Not that I can think of.
Well, I thank you for your patronage, and you all have a blessed day.
You as well.
Thank you kindly.
And
All right, bud. Let's go.
Alright, we'll get out of the way.
Oh,
Closes the beetle like a fucking car trunk.
real quick, if we are on the way to Heathen's Church, and where would you recommend that newcomers stop, as far as like a visitor center, or a place to get acquainted with the local businesses or establishments?
Oh well, there's well, you're gonna find any number of what was today? He looks up at the sky. Well, you're probably gonna be in time for the market.
Oh, wonderful.
Folks from all over.
Neat.
Well, there'll be lots of people from all over the place. You can probably ask your questions there. Plenty of
Okay.
people looking to be helpful. Maybe make a sale.
Thank you.
That's good.
Yep, sure.
Thanks
And
for that.
and he like I said, closes the beetle like a VW bug, and it starts moving, and he climbs up on top of it and starts trotting away. Bless you.
Thank you.
Well, we got a map. We got directions. We met a local. We got some weapons.
And we know
Par,
where to
you
find folk who were in Thuria.
I think that was a worthwhile encounter.
I think so too.
Very much
How-
appreciate that.
I thought he had already gone on.
You did. I'm just joking.
Can you use mending on these for me, please? They're a little, I mean, they're functional, but they're a little run down.
Oh, sure. Probably just going to take me a minute or two. I can only do about a foot at a time.
That's all right. The slingshot should be easy. We can start with that one if it's all right.
Oh, yeah. So Harlan will take a look, and as they're walking, and we'll start to mend what he can.
Yeah, you manage to get the sort of rotting wood of the scythe handle. You get that in slightly better shape. And the slingshot looks like it was about to break. One of the little bands on one side, and you actually find it's probably so yeah, you can cast mending on that to fix that, and yeah, they're pretty functional.
Yeah.
All right.
The rivets on the scythe, and any like rust or pitting or anything like that, you'll also pay attention to that too.
Great. Yeah. You slowly put them together, and you've got yourself a functional scythe and slingshot that you can pass along to to the kids. Let's arm the children.
In Base's mind, there was nothing wrong with this, and
No,
no
there
one
isn't.
stopped her.
You're fine. No one's. Yeah, everyone's like, we're in danger all the time. This seems like a very fair plan.
So Beza hands Toshi the slingshot,
Nice.
and she looks at Nicket. Do you want the scythe?
Could always hold on to it in case of emergency.
There you
Hey,
go.
need-
Also, it looks intimidating.
What would you prefer to fight with? Do you have a preference?
Prefer not to fight. Getting away is better part of the deal.
I agree with you. Wholeheartedly.
So do I. I just wanted you guys to have something just in case.
Yeah. I'd do just as well with a knife or something.
Oh, well, here. Paro will give her dagger that she never uses.
Just a little like spinny thing. It's very Villain. Villain's like, not bad. Thanks.
Oh,
And, like as she's spinning it, it's just gone. You don't know where she fucking put it.
Nicket,
All
what
right.
do you have? A knife!
No. I do respect the decision to not engage in combat, as I have said previously. Discretion is 9/10 of the law.
I just find when you don't stab people, you don't tend to get stabbed.
Yeah, when you walk away from a knife fight, the winner is just who's less dead.
Or faster.
Yeah, there's that.
Running
So
away.
They would also be less dead. I mean,
Yeah.
that does apply.
Yeah. Good talk. She she walks away. Toshi is clearly far more interested in conversing with you than Nick is. And so the group of you continue down the street or down the road towards Heathen's church. You takes again, it's about 2 miles, not too far. It takes you about an hour to get there, I think. I don't have a good sense of what walking speed is. That should be
2
something I
miles
learned.
an hour.
We're not
Yeah.
walking, and we're trying to keep up with slower walking races and the kids. Probably an hour.
Okay, so yeah. Eventually, you find yourself. Well, first you find there's a straightaway. It's flat plains land, and you see a bunch of wagons, very similar in style to the wagon that you saw the compendio using. In the sense that it's clearly set for a hitch of some kind. And there are a ton of them. It kind of looks like a what would you call it? A like a big tailgate kind of thing.
The swap meet kind of.
Yeah, yeah. Until you see a few, and there's a where all of these wagons are. You also see a village, all one-story buildings, but tall one-stories. And there is a huge dust cloud over the top of the town, like incredibly big. As you're walking a little closer, you start seeing people with the wagons. Some of them are unhitching themselves from the wagons. Many of them are centaurs of different kinds. You see a lot of different horses. You see people with a lot of different horse body types. There is a handful, like big Clydesdale folks. There's a few pony statured folk. And there is there are also a bunch of some of the other inhuman races. You see a couple dragonborn. You see a few more of those goblin like furry cat goblin, or sort of simian goblin actually, in style. And there's yeah, there's just you also actually also see a bunch of people walking around that seem to just have horns and antlers.
Cool.
There are some that kind of just they're like bipedal like goat folk, and a couple. Well, you you see uh a very young uh fellow. He is running behind you towards the town, and he's sprinting. He is very fast. He appears to be a rabbit like person, with big antlers and a pair of round glasses, and he's sprinting like his life depended on it as he rushes by you like, excuse me, and rushes past as he's making his way to the town. You realize as you get a little closer
Nope.
that the dust cloud is actually being kicked up by the sheer number of people that are in town. There are so many centaurs running around that they're just kicking up dust. It's a little hard to see at the front of the town, because of all the people running to and fro. It seems very busy. Like there is a lot of activity going on, a lot of people chatting, a lot of sales being done, a lot of money changing hands. Um, and yeah, it looks like a lot of these wagons are either personal, like basically someone bringing like a lot of stuff with them to town just because it's like a big backpack kind of thing. Then there's also a bunch that look like commercial wagons, like they're selling things out of the carts. And they just happen to be both the proprietor and the means of transportation. Um, it's easy to run a cart as one person. And so yeah, you're in this. You see that there is a sign as you enter into the town, and it says, uh, "Heathens Church." Uh, let's see, what was the phrase here? Um, let's see. Heathens Church, proudly bucking the system since, and it's got a like 300 years ago. Because apparently they can make horse puns. So what do you do? What are you looking for?
I think that we should look for we sh- we should look for a watering hole or a bar, a tavern, or some place that the locals care to rub elbows with one another.
Yeah, we should probably find somewhere to stay for those of you that have to sleep.
Oh yeah,
It's
sleep is important.
it's pretty substantially in the afternoon. It's maybe like 1 o'clock right now. But yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so you're looking for a gathering place where people are. You kind of follow the flow of people. A lot of real tall folk walking around, and you find a sort of an outdoor space. It's like a patio bar, with lots of tall tables for people to. There's not many seats. There's a few, but not many, as most people are just standing. And you do see a bunch of these centaur folk standing at the bar, drinking, laughing, kind of, generally having a good time. There is at least one of them doesn't seem to be having a great time. An elk, older man, pale skin, brown braids going on the back of his head, a big beard. He has an eye patch, and he's wearing what looked like leather, like almost like guard armor, like leather armor. And he's just like hunched over a stein of beer, sort of half asleep. And let's see. You also see the rabbit guy, sort of skidding around the bar, and getting over there in a big huff, putting on an apron and smoothing it out. Oh dear. Oh, okay. And he sidles up next to the proprietor, what looks to be the proprietor of this bar, another centaur, and Rodard, I swear to God, you gotta actually be on time for things. I know. I'm so very, very sorry. It won't happen again. And you see him sort of hop up on some stool or something so that he can reach the top of the bar, and he starts tending bar. So what do you do?
Well, why not? Is it a seat
How tall
yourself
are
kind
these
of?
tables?
Oh, perfect.
And how tall are the tables?
The table taller than Beza. They're I mean, most of the people in this bar are like between 6 and 7 feet tall. So yeah, they're meant to be like sort of waist height tables.
Haru, I don't think this bar is our size.
There are a number of little stools that have stairs on them that you could use them. You just gotta drag them over the tables. They seem to accommodate for shorter folk. So you guys like looking around, and there are. Well, it seems like there's just a lot of folk that aren't really from here. There's a lot of like catching up you're hearing, and folks just sort of like pat them on the back, like, "Oh, how's sales going? Oh no, it's good, it's good. We had a good haul this year. We had a good crop, and there's a lot of that kind of sort of catching up stuff going on."
I mean, it kind of feels like hometown, but way bigger. I'm not sure. I mean, is it kind of like the Hunters drinking hall with everybody talking and stuff, or am I?
I mean, I guess so, but that was kind of just Her Majesty of the Hun's parlor.
No, that's true.
Everyone would sit around and drink from the kegs, or sometimes we sat outside if the weather was nice. We had a big fire, and everybody sat around it and talked about the latest hunt or what we were going to hunt next. But so that's similar, I guess. But I usually just sat and listened because I don't drink.
Yeah. Elaine, do you want to see what they have at the bar?
Yeah, I guess probably need something non-alcoholic. Oh, Tushy, why are you even? Whatever. And
Do any of you need food? We could see what they have for food.
Yeah. Let me. I'll go get some.
I don't know what they use for money, but I have stuff we could trade.
I've got some money. Not a lot, but I've got some.
But I don't know what they use for money.
That's true.
Villain puts her hand out to you, Paru.
She puts a couple of gold in it.
I shall be right back. And he wanders off. And you have you watch as Villain goes to talk to the the fidgety little rabbit. Well, let's be honest, it's a jackalope. And and when Villain kind of knocks on the bar, you see the guy go, ah! it's gonna be very careful, sort of soft talking from Villain. And yeah, so you watch as he kind of like chats. He points over at the bar and talks to him a little bit, and the jackalope sort of nods very quickly, very profusely, ducks under the bar, and then pops back up with what looks like a bread basket, and then starts rummaging around behind the bar for other things. Elaine grabs the basket and comes over. And he's staring down at this basket with this very, like, it's very, like, eyebrow raised, amused sort of look on his face.
Do the bread rolls have antlers?
And he shows you, and they're all little, like, dragon croissants.
Okay, that's adorable.
They're all shaped. Yeah. He told me he made them.
Okay, those are cute.
And he puts them on the table, and Toshi and Nick just and they're immediately just like tearing into them.
I would have caught you a fish if you'd asked.
They don't answer. I think that's just how they eat.
Got it. It's like
so
being
Nick
in
and
my
Toshi.
house.
Fair. What were you gonna say, Beza?
They are growing kids.
Exactly. So yeah, there's all these dragon croissants on the table, and so yeah, so Villain said he ordered. They have like a big salad that they make that's for like the whole table. It's got a bunch of stuff in it. It's got some meat in it too, so the kids are like, yeah.
That works. Did they take gold, or do we have to trade them things?
No, they took the gold.
Okay.
So that's that's good.
That's
And he sits down. And so the lot of you are kind of sitting. Eventually, walking over with a giant boat of a bowl is the little jackalope, the little fidgety jackalope kid. And he's just like, here you go. Here you go. Okay. Enjoy. And you see the salad is like huge. It's like a freaking garden's worth of produce in it. And it definitely gives you vibes of like, oh, horse trough. But there are like there's basically like chopsticks but with little sporks on the end, that kind of thing. People are eating them with one hand, but it's basically like using a tiny set of tongs, and that seems to be what most people are eating with. Yes, Harlan, you look bemused.
Just the idea of chopsticks with sporks at the end it delighted me. So you guys eat for a little while. You're able to get some drink. It's all very affordable. They seem to be doing specials and stuff for the market day.
Lisa people watches since she doesn't eat.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see the kinds of people you find when you're people watching. You see a couple of the merchants that seem to be running around. A lot of them centaurs. But you also see a llama centaur. It's got kind of like fuzzy legs. You see the drunken elk guard looking guy, soldier guy, sort of still sort of half drunk in his glass. You see a very finely dressed woman with basically saddlebags that are they look like multiple briefcases. And she has a few jewels, one at her throat and one at her corset. And you also see that there are a number of tools in her bag. It looks like she might be some sort of like architect. There's a lot of like blueprints and stuff. And as she turns, you see that there's like actually some pieces of wood strapped to one side of her bag. You also see you see a like a ram looking fellow whose horns go from the top of his head into a big arc and basically go almost under his armpits. Real big loping horns out of him. He's got a big sort of gruff look on his face and big shaggy white fur. He's clearly older. And he's wearing a mix of like bronze armor, and it's all kind of dented and well worn.
I feel like Baze is just sitting under the table and watching everything.
Okay.
Harlan's gonna go schmooze.
Okay. Who do you want to schmooze with? Particular type of person that you want to schmooze with? Like a certain personality of folk?
Bartender?
Sure. Do you want to talk to the centaur who seems to run the place, or do you want to talk to the fidgety jackalope?
Oh, given the choice between the two. Probably the centaur that owns the place, because the jackalope looked like he was
Gonna faint.
putting forth a lot of effort.
He's trying his best. Sure. So you approach the centaur and or the bartender, if that's going to be redundant to call them a centaur. Yeah, say this is an older fella with once again, let me find his picture. I had his picture. You are right here. You are here. Anyway, so yeah, he has tan skin and sort of a 5 o'clock shadow, shaggy hair, and he looks up from the bar and gives you a cordial smile, although he looks a little befuddled by you. You're someone new. And when you get closer to him at the bar, you actually see that his let's say his centaur half is actually closer to a like an antelope, or like one of those white striped like African antelope. Has some fur on his, like some tufts of white fur on his legs. And he crosses his arms and looks at you and says, "Oh, how can I help you?"
Well, I know that you probably noticed that me and my friends are new in town, so we were just wondering to get the lay of the land, as it were. You know, is there...
How new and how much in town?
We
How much
just
time?
arrived this afternoon.
Well, you're for the market day.
We are here on market day.
I understand, friend. uh, trying to get your bearings.
Yeah, we're just not too sure about the lay of the land, as it were. Um,
Of course, of
we were
course.
hoping to, we saw the sign coming up from the dock, so we decided to
Oh,
visit.
you are very much uh, from somewhere else.
Oh yeah, I like to wander. uh, I'm known to have some dust on my shoes, as it were, from time to time. Um, so I guess first things first. Is there anyone who needs help?
Help? What kind of help are you looking to provide?
Well, I don't know. Could need you'll bus a friend here. It looks like he could use some assistance, or you know uh,
Oh,
anything that.
Rodnick needs help with pretty much everything. You
Oh,
watch him as he's kind of like trying to he's trying to fill something and his just hand is shaking so much. It's just half the water's ending up on the floor. Um, this is his first job. I do favor for his uncle.
oh, I remember my first job. I was sweating bullets constantly.
Well, that is about the long and short of it. Well, if you're seeking sort of handyman jobs, you could figure that out. If you're looking for people who need, I mean, people around here need anything from legal advice to just someone to move their shipments for them.
Well, that's fair enough. Um, what now? I heard tell that there was a group of refugees from the Big Island. Um, you know anything about them?
Oh, don't they've been here for years, decades? Yes, folk come from the main island, uh, looking for a place to set their hat. You know, um, it is a bit before. Well, I was only 8 tall at the time, but some sort of fuss over on Thuria. Uh, lots of displaced people.
Yeah, some sort of fuss is a little bit of an understatement, I should say, but
Hmm. Well, we here have our own concerns, so it is. We brought in. We were more than happy to bring in people when they needed help, but there was, not much we could do. We stayed out of things.
that's fair enough. Kind of you to let them put up their feet for a long bit.
Well, a bit became upwards of 50 years, so they are a little more than visitors at this point.
Well, established.
Yes, they are members of our community.
I once heard it said that it only took 5 years to become a local, but
Hmm.
I've never stayed in one place for 5 years.
Oh well, many people come to Mythgar stay. It is a good place to settle down, plant roots.
It it seems like it's a good land full of good people, I must say. Now,
Well, your meager estimation of the land so far, we appreciate the compliment.
oh, it's pretty at the very least.
Hmm.
Now, if I was to mention uh, an archive of some sort, if I was to mention just say the word archive, what what springs to mind for you?
Well, we have the Seed Archive nearby. It's a place for storing any number of plant life, both extinct and extant. Uh,
Well, it's like a library for farming or something.
yes, exactly. We have one of
Oh,
those. It is an island point of pride. Our collection. It is something that we cycle through. Um, I believe we will be breaking into one of the attempted bringing back of one of the extinct species of. I believe it was a type of it's a type of green one would put in, and he kind of points at the salad stuff.
Well, hmm. Who
Druid's
runs?
only recent.
Who runs that? That.
Oh, the archive.
Mhm.
The archive is run by you would find you would find Alina. She would be someone to look for. She is she is
Elena.
one. Alina, Alina, Alina. There you go.
So he'll say it out loud as he's kind of as also in his head at the same time. So it's, Alina runs the Seed Archive. All right.
Yes. You would find her probably walking the market right now, looking for the next goal for her renovation efforts, trying to keep the flora healthy on the
Now,
island.
what's wrong with the plants on the island? What's
But they are a little temperamental. You have
oh,
to tend to them very carefully, or they go a little rambunctious.
like they start cavorting and caterwauling all over the place like they're
More like overgrowing.
oh okay.
Everything wants to be uh, everything that grows here on Mythgar, if left unattended, would become invasive. Uh,
Hmm.
to kill everything else, we have to rotate so that they do not uh, take everything else with it.
Is that what like those giant trees that
Yes, the yes, we have people in charge of keeping those at bay. They have a tendency to want to take everything.
hmm. Well, that's all right. Everybody's got their own issues to sort out, I suppose.
Hmm. It is well, we live our life how we live it. It's not it's never boring.
No, I imagine that most people don't find their lives to be all that boring. Come to think of it, when push comes to shove. Hmm.
He's passing out drinks to some locals while you're doing this, while you're talking. He's able to multitask. You get the sense that poor Rodneck is not able to do that.
Well, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind working for my supper if that's all right. I'd be willing to
Oh,
lend
you
a
would
hand.
welcome. I would welcome the work. Have you worked in a tavern before?
Have I worked in a tavern before? Of course, I've worked in a tavern. I've done all manner of odd jobs here and there, wandering to and from the God's green earth.
I thought you were going to say I've done all manner of something in the tavern.
No, but I should have.
It's okay. I thought it in my head. Well, happy to have the assistance. You're and he kind of reaches down and tosses you an apron.
Cool. Yeah, he will put on the
Ro-
apron and like.
uh, See if Rodnick can show you the ropes. He kind of smirks.
Well, I will certainly do that. And I'm
Speak
sorry. I
Speak softly.
speak softly. All right. I'm sorry. I did not introduce myself nor ask for your name. My name is Harlan Firebranch, and it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, sir.
Is that all one name?
Now that's the second time I've been asked that. I'm just being polite. No, Harlan Firebranch. Harland Firebranch.
Harland.
First name Harlan, surname
You
Firebranch.
you folks from the mainland, you have need for more than one name. It sometimes throws us a bit.
It's you know the name of our family and then the name that we go by within our family. At least that's how it works for fire branches.
Interesting. We don't normally have much of a problem with that. There are not that many people on the island, but you usually say your... Oh, well, I am Mihai.
Mihai.
Yeah. Mihai.
Well, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Mihai.
Same, Harland. Firebrand.
Now, is that Mr. Mihai or is that just Mihai?
Mihai is fine.
Well, I just wanted to make sure.
You are only temporarily working for me, so we will not worry about any sort of formalities like that.
We just ran into a fella who was very insistent on the use of the word Mister in front of his name.
Well, I think that one maybe needs to chill.
Well, he seemed pretty low key to me, but thank you for your time. You are certainly a wealth of knowledge, and I'm gonna get to work.
Well, many thanks. A very busy day today, so thank you.
So,
And
Harlan
go
will
ahead.
walk back over to the table with the apron on and just let everybody know it's like, hey, I'm gonna be rubbing elbows and greasing palms and doing.
They might
doing
not
my
tip
thing.
you very well if you grease their palms. Elaine it takes a little too long for them to start smirking.
But I mean, the money would just slip right off, right?
Never mind. Yeah, sure.
Then they might have difficulty grabbing it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see where you're going with that.
Yeah. Well, have fun.
I'll see what there is to see, but I did let you know that there's someone that we should probably talk to. There seems to be somewhat of an authority figure nearby.
Oh, the seed lady.
Yeah, Alina. Yeah,
Alina.
she's wandering around the market. I forgot to ask for a description of her. Can we just say that like Harlan
Yeah.
might have gotten?
Yeah, we'll just wreck on it. Yeah, he described Alina as a she's a dragonborn. I will tell you later once I find a good picture.
Cool.
But yeah, that Alina usually is going to be poking around in the wherever people are selling seedlings. That's usually where you're going to find her. So keep an eye out for any of that kind of stuff being sold. All right. So you get to work, Harlan. You go find Rodnick, and much to no one's surprise, when you like try to get his attention.
My name is Harlan, and I'm here to help.
Oh, thank God. He like grabs onto your apron. Thank you.
Now, what job do you least want to do?
Any of it.
What particular task that seems to provide you the most trouble?
Them. And he points over to this like motley crew of where that guy with the big ram's horns was. There's a bunch of they look like mercenaries. They're real rough and tumble. They got lots of armor on. They got their weapons laid to the side. They're like the loudest people in the bar. And they have beer and food stuffs like smeared across the table, just everything. They're just making a mess, and they're having a grand old time. And Rodnick's just like them. They need drinks refilled. They just drink any swill, so you can just give them the cheap stuff. They're about quantity, not quality.
Oh, I've known many a nights like that.
Night is being generous.
Are they here all the time?
This goes on for a bit until you clarify your spelling. You can't clarify your spelling. Oh no. But yeah, so you fill up a bunch of I assume Harlan's got a decent like hold more than one glass sort of ability.
I,
He's at
yeah.
least got big enough arms that he can probably hold a bunch of them.
So what he's gonna do is
Yes.
let's see. What do I have on me? So, no, that's not gonna work. So it's like a bar slash tavern, right? That kind of atmosphere.
Yeah.
So what he's gonna do is he's just going to, instead of like refilling glass by glass, he's gonna grab a pot from the kitchen.
Oh, I was hoping you were gonna say this. Go ahead. Yeah, so you grab a pot.
Grab a pot and is going to um, fill it with just the yeah. We have a local place called Bull's Tavern, and
Okay.
it's a 21st birthday tradition, and content warning, description of things that should probably not be imbibed.
Don't know.
So the drinks that are spilled on the bar top, any overflow or any shots or anything like that,
No.
get wiped up with a single washcloth, and then wrung out into a shot glass.
What are they?
God.
5? It's just the mixing things into a bowl place.
They call it bull's sweat.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
No.
So Harlan is just picturing that level of like
disgusting
alcohol, like it's scum. It's scum.
Oh, you mean Corona?
Or like
Anyway.
old PBR.
Oh God.
So yeah, he'll fill this pot with just the rowdiest swill that he can find at the bar,
Incredible. Okay.
and we'll sidle on over to the table, and he's like, "Hey y'all, I just need you to clear me a spot."
They kind of look at you. One of the guys just like, "What'd you bring us?" Looking excited, not grumpy, but just like, "What's up?"
That one, and he just points back at all the barrels.
Ah! You hear a bit of clopping as as 2 of the centaurs move out of the way for you.
So yeah, you just clunk the pot down. It's like, scoop them yourselves.
They're all just like, they're like, sorry, I bumped my mic. They all just like scoop their steins into the pot, and one of them smacks you on the back real firm, like, yeah, good man, good man.
And like Harlan will grab plates and start like bussing whatever needs to be bussed and taking care of it.
And yeah, they're just over the moon
So
with the riches you have gifted upon them this day.
if this is the only thing that Harlan is going to do to help this poor like jackalope, then fantastic. Like it's basically like table service for.
As
for
you
this
come
one.
back, he's like,
I don't know what you're so worried about. They're fine.
"Oh, they're just a lot. They running around like there's some kind of war on. Hasn't been a war in so long, and they just kind of just pretend like everything's all to the glory of Mythgar and all that. They're just a lot."
Does Mythgar have glory days that are worth remembering? I'm asking that honestly. I'm not being insulted.
I suppose so. Way before my time. But yeah, sure. There was the old well, they've well, there was a time when Mythgar was its own little well, I guess it is its own little pocket right now. Um, but the well, maybe not them, but there were some who the plains walkers.
The planeswalkers, as in they would walk the the fine fields of grain and the
No,
various
no,
hills and
no, no.
dales.
Like the other planes, like the planes, like big. Um, they could leap across the continent in a single bound, sort of planes. Um, there was a few of them. Um uh, the the Striders. They were
The
called
Striders.
Striders.
That's
Yes,
the name of the group.
yes. They're not. They're not.
Striders.
They're not Striders. They like
Yeah.
to think they are, but they're not. They're just you know, they were like mall cops basically.
And where are the Striders now?
Lost to legend
Oh,
or
was this
retired.
was this like 10 years ago?
Oh, like 100 and 200 years ago.
Oh, okay. So we are talking history. All right, then
Yes.
that's something different.
Only maybe one Strider's still around, as far as I know, but he's well into retirement.
And what's his name?
Good question. I forgot to give him one. As he leads, just reaches back into the recesses of his mind palace. Um, give me a sec. Uh, his name um, was Olvar.
Olvar. Mm.
Mm.
And what was Mr. Olvar's specialty?
Oh, Olvar was a great, um, well, Olvar was a great archer. His arrows could traverse the world, strike
Mm.
a creature from a continent away, so it was told.
Well, that's some mighty fine shooting, I must say.
Hmm. He
Olvar.
yes.
Whereabouts is dear old Olvar in his retirement?
Olvar. Um, well, Olvar, I mean, he comes in every so often. He lives here in Heathen's church.
Sorry,
They s- they s-
it's a secret that you should sneak food from the plate if there's still food left on the plate. They're not going to miss it. They already paid for it.
Oh, good to know. I'll I'll not do that, but I'll remember. Um, but yeah, uh, Olvar, Olvar of the Olvar, he's here in Heathensport. They say he was one of the original heathens.
Well, then a founding member of the heathen community is
Heathen's just a short. It's just what they called us when they came.
they who.
People from the main island. We took the name and made it a badge of honor.
As one should, for bucking the system, as it were.
Hmm. You should get a T-shirt. They have those over at
They
the market.
they have T-shirts.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Well, don't mind if I do. I don't mind behaving like a tourist every now and again.
My God, just like a T-shirt and a bandana and some
Oh,
Crocs
And a
Harlan,
koozie.
dad
and a
walking
koozie.
in an I Love Heathens Church T-shirt with the flip flops and
With
the
socks.
flip flops with socks and the shorts that have the Heathens Church flag on them.
Mm-hmm. We're here. We're heathen. Get used to it. Basically. Um. But yeah, so yeah, you help Rodnick a bit more with feeding the militia over there. Um, and I mean they eat like they've been on the warpath. And they seem to be sharing stories, but they've become incomprehensible as they continue to drink.
So I think, are they asking for specific food?
No,
Okay, so
they're really not.
Harlan,
They're just like, bring us food.
Harlan is specifically going to go to the chef and ask him for like the heaviest thing that they know.
Mihai's the
Like,
chef, so he's
okay,
like,
yeah,
okay, the
if you got
heaviest
something
thing.
that's like deep fried cheese, or some sort of like croquette,
He
or
points to a cauldron of cheese, just bubbling like. Bloop, bloop.
I have an idea.
Now that is all the cheese that I have for today. It is expensive, so don't just hand it to them unless you get the money first.
Oh no, I wasn't gonna do that.
Oh. What do you need?
You ever heard of tachos?
Cut to what? You make tater tot nachos?
Yeah, but it's like croquette sized
God,
tater tots
just halves of potatoes.
that have been deep fried, and then
Uh-huh,
yeah, so it's
uh-huh.
like hockey pucks of potatoes
With just
and,
oh my god,
cheese and butter,
damn it, Kyle.
and like green onions. Yeah, sorry, Kyle's a foodie, y'all.
Oof.
You're in for
Yeah, welcome to the foodie.
it.
So yeah,
Yeah, he's gonna
you
bring that like in a big old plate, like probably like at least like 5 pounds of potatoes.
you get some glares from people because when you bring that to the table, they make the loudest cheer and everyone kind of shudders. They're like, "Why are you encouraging this?" But you give them that, and they're just like, they're sloppy. They're just a mess.
Oh,
But they're very happy. Um, and one of them, the big ram, kind of puts his arm around your neck. He's about as tall as you are, big horns, and he's just like, you know what, you're a good one. You're a good one.
I have been told,
You know,
and
one of
yet
the
again,
just a loyal man at arms, just battle brother. Just you are my heart. And he starts crying,
well,
just like leaning on your shoulder.
I'd be lying if I didn't say those potatoes are gonna go straight to yours.
and the one of the centaurs, he's like, don't mind don't mind him. He just gets teary when he has good food. He does the
Don't
same
we
thing.
all?
He does the same thing at his mother's every other week. Take it as a compliment. You made a man weep like he weeps at his mother's cooking.
I didn't even cook it. I just ordered it. Well, great.
You
Here's the
slowly
thing.
peel the guy off. he just he just like puts his hand on the table, and one of the centaurs is like, "It's all right. It's okay. It's okay, Billy."
At what point in the evening did that man
Thank you, Heather.
have gravy? Because it's still on his shirt, and now it's on mine.
We didn't have gravy today. I can outgross you, Kyle. No, nothing is as gross as that bar story.
So,
No, I agree.
Harlan will go ahead. Sorry.
I just said I agree. The bar story with the rag and the bleh.
Yeah. Thankfully 21 was a long time ago, so I have not done that. yeah, Harlan will have been relaying a lot of this information, like any tidbits that he picks up that could like direct the party as to like people that we want to like look into. He'd have been like communicating that, as he gets the information, just to make sure that everybody's aware of
Mhm.
stuff that he's gotten.
What does
Sure.
Olva look like? He sounds like fun.
Well, well, if he's one of the old ones and they're from like 200 years ago, I would think that he'd be some sort of long-lived fella. Uh, Probably like a furbolg or you know um, an elf or so, I don't know who else is long
Do you
lived. I'm
wanna
not sure.
do you wanna ask Rodnik what
Sure.
Ulvar
Yeah.
looks like? Uh, Rodnik is in the back. He hasn't really been out in front for a while. Just like pouring food and messing with the little. You go over and you find him. Like he's actually calm. You haven't seen him not fidget this entire time, and for this one instant, he is completely stoic still as he gently curls a dragon croissant and puts the little antlers on it, and he he like puts it on the pan, and there's a couple more. There's like a whole tray of them that he's been making, um, and he's very still, and he's just very sure-handed puts them in the oven.
You ever try filling those with chocolate or fruit?
No.
I apologize. I did not mean to startle you.
It's okay. Everything does.
I might recommend that you switch to some sort of less stimulating beverage when you wake up in the morning. Um,
I don't drink caffeine. It makes me anxious.
or maybe it's one of them highfalutin homeopathic things where the more caffeine you drink, the calmer you get.
Like a bell curve.
Yeah, you just push it right past.
I haven't gone far enough then.
I hear once you hit 200, you become a god.
Anyway. So you ask Rodnik about Ulvar?
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, um Ulvar is a centaur. Um he lost his eye in the war. He's well, he's a bit of a solitary fellow. He usually likes to drink by himself in the corner. Um and he's got braids in his hair. He dyes. It's brown.
He dyes his hair brown.
Yes. I think he's a little self-conscious. Or maybe
Um,
it makes people not recognize him as much.
when he was running around, did he used to have a shock of white hair?
Oh no, it was blue.
All right. Well, blue hair. That's something near and dear to my heart, I must say. Um,
Beza, as you're hearing this description, you're literally across the bar from a drunken elk centaur with an eye patch and brown hair, um just sort of lulled against his you see that actually he's got these huge elk horns, but one of them is actually cracked off. Like there's like maybe half a foot of it, whereas the other one easily goes out to like 3 feet. um he's a little, you get the sense maybe he's a little off balance, but it might be the drink. And so yeah, he's just sort of slopped against the bar, as Harland is describing him.
Hmm.
Verlaine, you hear Verlaine in your ear, Harlan. You mean like the guy we're staring at right now?
you tell me.
Yeah, he's drunk off his ass.
Well,
Napping.
then Well, then what's he drinking?
Looks crappy. Beer.
Can
Looks like
you,
a crappy beer. Let me clarify.
like, Harlan looks at the casks and is like,
There's the real cheap shit.
I guess.
There's it's called Boredom's Revenge.
Ooh.
Uh, Roderick, right?
Rodnick.
Rodnick, sorry.
Mhm.
Hey, Rodnick, can you point me to Boredom's Revenge?
Oh yeah, it's over there. It's a big cask of it. It's like there's a little cost on it, and it's like a copper, 2 copper a glass. It's fucking cheap. It's yeah, it's probably mostly water, and then the rest of it's alcohol. But it's real stiff alcohol.
It's just bread that they put into a glass.
And then left it for
And
a
left
while in
it.
the sun.
Yeah, it's-
Yep, it's that.
Mm.
I mean, what do you think the original beer was? Wet
Sure.
grain.
Oh no, my grain got damp. Oh no, I forgot about my grain. Oh, this shit tastes good. The person who drank beer first.
Right?
They had to
we
chew it.
Oh, yeah,
Hi,
no.
Heather.
We don't like beer on a good day, and that's just
As you guys are talking, Beza, you see that Paru has kind of drifted to sleep, kind of against Valaine's shoulder, just and Valaine's like, I'm stuck.
it's all right. I can go talk to him.
Yeah, okay. Nicket's also like sleeping, not against him, but he's just like, I don't think I can talk right now. They're sleeping through the bar thing, but for some reason I feel like if I say anything, they'll wake up. And now I just realized that Paru can probably hear me. Sorry, Paru. So, Beza, what do you do?
Holland, get him
Yeah.
something that's not gross.
Harlan
pay
looks at
for
the
it.
casks.
There's some pretty solid ones. There's a there's a stout. Let's see.
I mean, a stout will work. I think what Harlan would do is take that, like, cheap swill and do a hook and a horn with it.
Okay. I don't know what
So
that is. Don't know what that is.
it's a shot of whiskey in a glass of beer.
Oh, sure.
But
Sure,
instead of whiskey, he's going to use the cheap swill to kind of like get that, like you do with cats when you're changing their food. You got to like integrate the new food in with the old food. So Harlan's going to like try to 50-50 the new glass with like the stuff he's been drinking with like something that's better.
Sure. The stout is called Imperial Overcast. It's an imperial
It's something
stout,
Kyle would drink. Holy cow.
right? It's an imperial stout. Angela likes beer. Well, Angela likes to talk about beer.
Angela, I'm going to bring some beer when we fly. I'm going to bring some beer.
Sorry. We're
Anyway.
on stream, Kyle. Don't tell them our business. Anyway. So you get him some decent drink, and you smooth the edges of the shitty beer with some liquor. And Beza, you start heading towards this in his cups elk centaur.
She has to carry over one of the stools.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Excuse me.
blinks for a while. Hello.
Hi. I don't. Well, I guess I can't really say I don't mean to intrude because I did just kind of wake you up. But um, I was wondering, and she says it quietly in case he's trying to be sort of inconspicuous. Are you Olva?
Hi. Looking for an autograph, are you?
No, but I wanted to buy you a drink.
And always starts with a drink. And then it's over. Tell me of the time you slew a drake from 15 miles away. Or over. Tell me that.
No, I've never slain a drake. I slew a giant snake from inside its head. Does that count?
Drakes are this big. They're wee little things. 15
Oh,
miles away, tiny thing. Like,
so you're talking about marksmanship. All right, that makes more sense.
Olvar, God's Eye. That's my name. That's what they
Actual
call
name
me
is
anyway. It's an honorific. God's Eye. 'Twas the name they gave me in the war.
It's probably obvious, she points at herself, but I'm not a local. I've only heard bits and pieces about the war, but honestly, talking to you sounded more interesting than sitting under the table some more.
Well, you said something about a drink.
My friend's bringing it over.
Oh. He looks around. Harlan, you come around the bar. You see that Beza's gotten the attention of this sort of stumbling centaur. Oh, there's a good lad.
He'll slide it closer to the grasping fingers.
Oh, there we are. There we are.
To your right. To your right. Okay.
Right, it's all right. All right.
You're the rat.
Oh, he reaches over, and Olvar he just starts downing it. Which one did you give him? The stout or the swill with the whiskey in it, or the swill with the liquor in it?
Since Beza's got him in conversation, I think it's going to be the stout, just because it's like.
He kind of shakes his head a little bit as he drinks it, and he's like, "Oh, you got me the good stuff. Good lad. Appreciate it. Now, what was it you're looking to do? You wanted that? Well, you bought me the drink. I appreciate it. What were we talking about?
Well, when I'm not a local, neither's my friend, obviously. But you don't necessarily have to tell me stories about your glory days if you don't want to. But I was wondering if you could tell us a little more about some of the stuff that happened.
Those are part and parcel, darling.
I'm talking about a history lesson, except history from someone who actually lived it, so it's more interesting.
Why would you want to learn about the war that we lost? I could tell you about the far more interesting ones.
Like what?
Like the Great Centaur Uprising of...
Yeah, we heard about that. It's on the map. So
3 stories tall that barn was.
Yep, it's that's a mighty big barn, I must say.
Took half a town to put it up.
And what the other half of the town do?
Drink. I was in that half.
What was it like the kind of switched off? It was a shift work.
No. We supervised.
Right. Okay.
What were we talking about?
A war.
War. Hmm.
Who were you fighting against? We don't even know that much.
Well, there was some sort of shite with the Oh, there was some sort of shite in the what they call them, the deep dwarves from the south, in the big island, living up in their shiny little mountains. But they just caused a thing. We dealt with them, fair enough. But no, but the well, we don't talk about the one. We don't talk about when the clock came. That's just a boring story.
Um, that's actually what we're interested in because we're from the Big Island.
So what, you poking around the outside of those cities and you decide, oh, what's inside? Maybe I'll go bother an old man.
No, more like I was born inside one of the cities.
Come again?
We snuck out.
Yep.
It takes a long time for him to stop blankly staring at both of you, kind of between you. Sorry, so it's more like this, then down, then up, then down. And Olvar sort of looks at his glass. Sort of pushes it to the side. You got out?
Yep.
How's it you got out?
Oh, I mean, well, we almost died a couple times, but we did have
Well,
some help.
a lot of planning.
You're saying that the the bubble's gone.
Which
You,
bubble?
you talking about the bubble that makes your head all fuzzy when you walk near the city?
No, it was a wall, like a ward. It pushed everything out they didn't want in.
I don't think that's still there. Or at
Well,
least it wasn't where we came out.
Really?
but I mean, hmm.
Well, that's a wonder.
We didn't try going back in. So I mean, it might still be there, but we
That's
were
true.
able to get out, and maybe might not be able to get back. Oh, that's a scary thought.
We'll figure something out.
So what? You come out from? You come out from one of those little clock cities, and what first thing you do is you try to find out more about it.
Well, not exactly. The
You
thing
got
is,
yourself free. You should just go off and prance into the sunset. Congratulations.
if it was that simple, you probably would. And honestly, other than some of my friends' families and some of our friends, I don't have much family there. But um, part of the problem is that there's people there we still want to get out, and we don't know anything. There's some sort of magic stuff that makes it so nobody remembers anything.
Why, there's a lot of magic stuff.
Well, I'm not good with the magic stuff. Give me something to stab or shoot at, and I'm fine. But you know,
Oh, well, I appreciate that. I appreciate
Mhm.
her.
I do too. She's mighty good in a pinch and mighty good out of a pinch.
Thanks.
So you're looking to get back in.
Eventually, probably.
What is
But
it? What is it you want from me, lass? I'm clearly very busy.
clearly, um, I'm looking for more information about what happened during the war. Like I said, we don't know anything. We know that they showed up. Supposedly, what they tell people is that there was too much chaos and they kind of set things straight. But we don't know about anything beyond that.
As usual, it's a nice little oversimplification.
Yeah, we kind of figured. That's why I was hoping you had more information. We haven't met anyone who actually remembers what happened.
Well, two things. Two things.
All right.
Two things. I need more of whatever that was. That was very good. You have a good.
Heartland gets up immediately.
You have a good nose for that, lad. Um,
Um,
Second thing. What were we talking about?
the war.
The war.
You said the first thing was that we needed to get you more drinks, which we can do. The second thing was, and then you got distracted.
Very drunk.
How about we make this one a walk, madame?
What does that mean?
It's like the one that you get when you're getting ready to finish off the night.
Oh. What if? It'd probably be easier and a little less work on my part for. I'll take you over to the refuge. You get more visual.
I beg pardon.
You'll get more answers if you go to the refuge with me.
Well, the refuge was a planned stop that we were gonna make.
Well, it's not really something that you just. It pales in comparison if you don't just see it.
I don't have a mental picture, so anything that I encounter in person is going to just eclipse what my mental picture is of what you are talking about.
All right, let's just get you over there then. Let's go, lass. And he kind of pats you on the back, because
How far away is it?
oh, it's just up the road.
Like
I
10
walk
minutes?
there. I can walk there like this. Come on.
All right.
And he and the elf, or not elf, why did I say elf? Elk was the word I was looking for. And the elk centaur he kind of trots back. He's a little off kilter, and he gathers you all. We'll hand wave it a little bit. He gathers you all, and you follow down the road. You're walking away from the market, and he leads you all to what looks like it's like a walled area, maybe like a subdivision kind of place. When you first went into Heathen's Church, you found that there was like a town square, and it's very, standard town layout. When you go into this other spot, which it is Thuria's Refuge is the name of this place. It has its own town square. It's like its own little town within the town. It's Little Thuria. And the first thing you see as you walk in, well, one, you see a ton of people, and you see that this might be where the non-centaurs live, like where they're from, like the Dragonborn, and there's a few elves, and not that many humans. The second thing you notice is the inside of the wall of Thuria's refuge is covered in pictures, portraits, paintings, photos. And everything on the bottom of the wall is candles and flowers. The whole of this neighborhood's inner wall covered in memorials or keepsakes of people that didn't make it here to the refuge. You don't know the circumstances, but it's people they had to leave behind. And as you take in this scene of what became of the war, at least for some of these people, that's where we're going to end for tonight. Okay. Gotta love that mood shift. Whiplash is the name of the game, ladies and gentlemen and friends. So, that is the end of our chapter. If you're just visiting and this is your first time watching the stream, thank you so much for rating. We're very grateful to have you. We air every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. You can follow us here on Twitch, or you can follow us on Twitter at the same account name. We are Nerdsmith, and you'll get pinged when we go live. But we will start next week. We are down a couple people due to scheduled absence and not feeling great. So we will have our full cast of 4 next week. And we will begin chapter 26 of our story. If you'd like, you can find us on YouTube as well. I don't know if I made a YouTube code. There might be. Nope, there's not a YouTube code. But you can find us at Shenanigoons or Nerdsmith on YouTube. Let me get us over here. And we would love to see you here next week. For more, we are usually... well, let's be honest. I occasionally throw a curveball at people. So it's not like, yeah. But you can find us here. Also, on Monday nights, I am here running Discover RPG, which is my prep show for Shenanigoons, essentially. I do a lot of map building and things like that. You can find... Here we go. I found the link. Oh, you already did, Heather. Why did I shouldn't even bother. So if you follow that link, you can find our YouTube channel and you can catch up on our show if you want to find us. We are still very, very much in our campaign, not anywhere near the end. And our heroes are discovering a world that they didn't know a lot about. They've been very isolated in multiple ways. So once again, thank you so much for watching. You can find us at nerdsmith.org as well, or if you want to support the show, you liked what you saw, we have a lot of bonus content and stuff on our Patreon. You can help support us monthly, and that helps us keep the lights on, pay our performers, pay our artists, and just in general keep making fun, nerdy content for free for everybody. We're really grateful to be able to continue to do that. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Die Hard Dice. This is the last couple days to use our coupon code. Nerdsmith-APR will get you 10% off the beautiful Die Hard Dice. Especially take a look at the Spellbinder Gaia set. They are super duper pretty. Metal set. Make your table feel bad. And please also check out our other sponsors, World Anvil, where you can find our map of the world, which I will put up right now so you can check that out. The map of the world of Vale, as well as my constantly updating map of our island here, Cronus, which is including the 100% totally accurate, absolutely Clockwork Authority approved map of the island that is missing no details whatsoever. So you can check that out there. And our final sponsor, Eldritch Foundry, which is where we got all of our cool pictures, our character art. I did all the colorizing, but the original style, the original models are based from Eldritch Foundry's really cool collection of fantasy characters. You can build miniatures, you can get them 3D printed and sent to you, or you can get digital copies of your miniatures. So you check them out, use the code or use the link there so that they know we sent you. And you're helping support the show by doing that. So that's all I got. Thank you so much for everybody who joined us in chat and in stream. Kyle and Heather, thank you so much for playing. Tessa, hope you feel better. Mwah. And Chris, we will see you next week. Dun. You all are wonderful. Have yourselves a good rest of your evening, a great week. Be safe, make good choices, get a shot in your arm if you can, do all that important stuff. Please, above all, though, please do me a favor and be good to each other. All right, we will see you soon. And I need to ping Tessa because Tessa's running the stream. And so we're gonna vamp for a minute while I tell Tessa to. Okay, Tessa, go ahead and close us out, my dear. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye now. Bye bye. Bye bye.